How did you find your why to create such a large scale business that's doing so well?
So I think in some ways I'm still trying to find my why, but the one that I stick to is every time I've had a conversation with somebody that was enlightening, or I've had somebody read a blog post, or listen to something I said and tell me that it helped them. That gives that special kind of feeling that I'm making an impact, I'm having a difference in the world. And for Support Ninja, I have an opportunity to make an impact to people in a third world country, and that is impactful by itself. But the idea to start the business was largely driven by seeing a need in the market, seeing that an untapped potential, and that was really all my businesses. Is even though they were in existing markets, I found a niche within that market and I exploited it. And that's the same situation I am here today with Support Ninja. So it's doing incredibly well, but it's also thanks to finding the right people. There's like the quote about first having to find the right people, and then making sure that they're sitting in the right seats in the bus, and that's something I've been able to do fairly well with Support Ninja after years and years of trial and error. And I'm still not perfect, and I still had a lot of self-doubt, feeling like I'm not going to be able to be successful with this business, because the only other business I had done up to this point was web hosting, and it was really just the same kind of business, just slightly different. And I feel like everybody can get into this mode. There's every entrepreneur out there who still doubts that maybe they're a one-hit wonder, maybe they're not going to be successful again. And in some ways, that you also have the people who are really optimistic, and they're just overly optimistic. And I feel like you can find a way to be somewhere in the middle, where you can recognize that you're going into an unexplored area, that your talents are not necessarily, you're outside of your zone of your bubble of comfort, but you need to do that in order to grow, in order to find new things. And so I did that with Support Ninja, and luckily it's been successful. But there's no guarantee that my next venture is not going to be is going to be successful. But you just have to keep on trying. And I feel like it's just way too easy nowadays just to give up. We're in not the age of Instagram, we're in the age of TikTok, where it's just everybody's ADHD, and it's just so easy to feel like, oh, I tried this and I'm not good at it, I'm going to try something else. But it just really comes back to grit. There's so many books written on grit and resilience, and you just have to stick with it. And that's effectively what I did. And I was just motivated by having my back against the wall. And it's an experience I wouldn't wish on anybody. And it's some people look at me and they look at my success and they're like, oh, I wish I was him. And I guarantee you do not want to be me. It's like I still live with so much trauma that I'm still dealing with, and it's not an easy life. And I hope it'll get easier in the future. And for right now, I'm just dealing with it, and I'm finding my why that's giving me the desire to wake up every day. I've struggled through depression and lots of stress and anxiety. So to get to this point, I feel like in some ways it's a miracle, and I can just only hope that during my short life and this short existence, that I'll be able to have some kind of a positive impact on others, because that would be a why that would motivate me.